everybody, Mr. O here, and today I'm going to talk about the starting of the basic proportions of an animal. And to do this, we first need to know what animals we're going to do. And what I did is I just Googled animals in general and just got a couple examples. Here I got a phoenix fox, a gray wolf, and a tiger. Now, which kind of tiger? I don't know if it's Siberian or Indian. And what we're going to do is look for the shapes. And I'm going to talk about this in more detail. If you remember when if you haven't seen my 2D shape video, I talked about that everything we do will start with 2D and 3D shapes. And you can see whether it's a complete triangle or not, whether it's rounded, I use shapes to help me form what I'm going to start with. These are basically my guidelines. And just because I draw something, and this is what I did with the wolf, I made the circle too big, or my oval too big. It's okay, it will still work as my guideline. You're going to make mistakes when you do this. And of course I got a leaping tiger on the attack, and I just want you to just see where the Sharpie is, and let me just show you what I kind of sketched out to begin with. So if I was drawing at the phoenix fox, here's my guideline. Look, I made a mistake over here, and instead of erasing everything, I just add it to it. And look at all these extra lines that I have. It's very sketcherly. And then we got the wolf, where I made the circle a little smaller, and I just kind of sketched out. Now, you will see that this is not a 2D shape here. This is a 3D shape. And this is kind of going into phase 2 when you're talking about cylinders and cubes and stuff like that. And I will demonstrate that with the tiger here. And one of the things I wanted to point out with the tiger was you can see that when I drew, let's see if I can get this both on camera, the tiger is more towards the front of the paper, and when I started drawing, I put the head back a little too much. But instead of stopping, and you can see me mark right there, you just continue, okay? You just take it right off. Wherever you start the head, and that's the key. Start with the head, and wherever you start with the head, you just go off. And if you don't get the whole thing on, you don't get the whole thing on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sketch out and just show you, just using shapes, how to do the tiger. Okay, I did put that a little bit in time lapse because I know you guys don't want to watch a half-hour video, at least I don't think you do. And this is basically step 1 of finding your proportions. Now, is everything on my proportions correct or perfect? Probably not. Not when I'm doing quick sketch, and you will find that you will sometimes be off, and you just got to make the adjustments, just like I was on this back leg here. And so I moved it back a little bit, and so there's my new guideline. So I made the length of the tiger's back as equal to the photo as possible. Another thing about these photos, when you use photos to do animals, it's very important to understand that if you copy from a photograph you did not take, most contests and art shows will not let you submit them without the photographer's permission. Now, all you have to do is hover over some of the images, and sometimes you get the names. And you just look up photographer and animals and usually get their name, and they're usually so very gracious and let you use their photos for your paintings, for your drawings. It's part of learning for both of us. And you'll find that many artists are very, very supportive. And there are some that are not, and you shouldn't worry about that. Now, I'm going to teach you now, I'm going to go to step 2, which is starting to break this down into cylinders, okay? And let me show you a little bit of that. Okay, as you can see, and I didn't talk about the pencil I was using. It's a Lita 5B. I usually use a 2B. I just happened to grab this one, so I just went with it for sketching. And as you can see, looking at the tiger, I got my basic layout so I can start drawing details. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, well, why can't I just trace it and then just put in the details myself? There is a time and place for tracing, and there's a time and place to actually better yourself by just looking, observing, and drawing. Looking, draw, look, draw. And whether it's a photograph or a live model, I would recommend the less you can trace into teaching yourself, the easier it will be, okay? And guys, that is how step 1 and step 2 of getting your basic proportions of an animal. Look for other videos as I slowly teach details. You can go to the computer art one and you can see me talk a lot about animal details and texture. Guys, have a great day. For me, it's about the beginning of the new year, so if this video comes out after January 1st, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you stay safe. Bye-bye.